We gonna get this by any mean, nigga. Mm.
Yeah. Stop in.
We in this bitch, nigga. I like that car.
Yeah, I'm
Trying to knock. Yeah.
alright.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm in this bitch. Yup.
Happiness. Success.
It's that simple.
So,
Don't try to streets and chasing dreams. Here y'all by any means, nigga. I found myself. That's where I found wealth. There's our gas. There's our ass. Revving. Block revving.
motivation.
That's such a dark nice. This trip taken.
Risk taking.
Just ain't taken. The other bitch taken.
Vacation.
Ain't gonna this.
First class seats booked.
This.
Going places rappers go.
So don't you ever speak, but you ain't a rapper though. Nope. So I won't make it special. I need that pressure. Like you that girl yours. Girl tours. 30 girl around the world. You gotta rap though. Buy a nigga money. You know that is track though. Still hurting hard, but got money to relax though. Some different shit though, relax though. Okay, try to back though. Try to pass though, back though.
South
Try to back though. Try to start though.
Bang, gang, bang, smoke,
Back
crack,
though.
mouth.
There's back though.
Purpose, right, sit, hand up.
Get smacked the fuck up, nigga. The 80s. Hold on, I need to go to like a store or something. I'm trying to smoke something. Let me do this respond.
And your whole life, you get employer insurance chosen for you by the people that you work for. Well, when you turn 65 and you retire, you find that Medicare is this beast that you have to conquer. So we set out to build what I like to call old school customer service.
Long-winded.
Live life like it was mine.
Never settled, but setting every goal high. 1,000 burpees on the path to my own destruction or success. But what is a mistake without the lesson? See, the best teacher in life is your own experience. None of us know who we are until we fail. They say every man is defined by his reaction to any given situation. Well, who would you want to define you?
Someone else or yourself?
Whatever you do, give
Give
your
me our
heart
chance.
to stay strong.
Yes. Yeah. Nah, none niggas fall what I want. None niggas fall what I talk. None niggas go what I'm on. None niggas fall what I'm on. None niggas lost in this road. Couple niggas scared to go. That niggas train this go. We don't stand on 10 toes. Look at all bands on the dough. So I'm sorry, so girl. Scared in my heart to this girl. Paranoid, she don't leave with my ass get low. Learning to change to be tight, but I know I have to change to be tight. I should be afraid of my brain. I'm just trying to live until the meaning of my night. Trying to live until the niggas in my guy. I'm just trying to live until my moment on the stage. I'm just trying to live until the truth of my pain and the power that they gave me on the truth for today. I put a coupe in the safe, and I shoot from the race. But time is money, so I ain't gotta say them big flukes in your face. How the fuck do you change your keyboard mode, bro?
Not for the clan, how I feel if I gotta sit it down. How the fam gon' feel what's funny in the jail, one hand on the wheel. I was just programmed to put a milk in some still real shit, tears for the dead. Accused him, I thought it changed, show me who win. I'm my little brother, I you know me took it there. Real nigga telling on me, only thing that I feel. Yeah, only thing that I feel. Real nigga telling on me, only thing that I feel. Lot of niggas square, lot of dope in the air. Lot of niggas squeals, lot of dope in the air. Start from contaminated, count nigga meditate. Yeah, I said, count nigga meditate. I can't even eat for some medicated. I can't even sleep for some medicated. I've been on my feet, chasing check, getting shit. Nigga, weak, get the weak, get some medicated. I can't even eat for some medicated. I can't even sleep for some medicated. I've been on my feet, chasing check, getting shit. Nigga, weak, get the weak, get some medicated. I do this shit for my motherfucking niggas, I get it, somebody got me. I do this shit for the bitches, I get with me, I'm trying to get I do this shit for my niggas, for life, for y'all, niggas, for me. I do this shit for the bitches, what the fuck, just give me two, give me two. I do this shit for my dog, I do this shit for my home, I do this shit for myself. 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 I do for my I do for my phone. I got phones on me, yeah, in the shit on the toes. All the way up to the top. All the way up to the top.
Oh yeah, you locked in there,
I was gonna turn y'all playing. I didn't take care of these risks. I was gonna turn y'all niggas and send y'all niggas and go with the shit. I was just telling y'all books. I know you taking it cold. I know I gotta be touching the something from my head in my soul. I was gonna turn y'all playing. I didn't take care of these risks. I was gonna turn y'all niggas and send y'all niggas and go with the shit. I was just telling y'all books. I know you taking it cold. I know I gotta be touching the something from my head in my soul. I'm gonna change every place I die and feel what I'm mission was started. Fuck all those late with trains. You late for parties. Bad park. Back in the frogs. Right way to get small rich. Do the structure of the sauce. I'm from Johnny up playing. I like take none of these risks. I'm from Johnny up playing. Just send it out, make you deal with this shit. I'm just Johnny up most. I know you like it cold. I know I gotta be tired of something from out
That's actually what I needed.
I'm from Johnny up playing. I like take none of these risks.
What?
I'm from Johnny up playing. Just send it out, make you deal with this shit. I'm just Johnny up most.
What?
I know you like it cold. I know I gotta be tired of something from out of check my soul.
DatPiff.com, the mixtape authority.
Wicked, with it, drum sticking.
We all move through life in our own way, but we all appreciate the moments that feel effortless.
No,
Effortless. Now it's time to go. Wait for this. Need to come back, bro. You ain't never front line the war.
You never had a long story. You got a long run story. You did it. You did it. That's like a story. You got a long run story. Tell me what I have some story.
Yeah, let's listen to the podcast real quick.
Yeah, what's coming?
That Nipsey podcast.
Man, but I also
Y'all gotta
gotta
listen
say
to it.
congratulations, bro.
Yeah,
So with Atlantic Records,
yeah, we did.
but you did it your way.
Yeah, definitely. We did.
Yeah,
We
man.
did a strategic partnership eventually with Atlantic Records between, and this was I really want to clarify the deal is between All Money In
Right.
and Atlantic Records.
Easy call.
Nip been signed All Money In since the beginning.
Go ahead now.
So you know,
We're gonna take 5 minutes to listen to the
Atlantic, you already
podcast.
know
and
they tradition. They make household names,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
and they've been successful doing that for years.
But being so successful on your own,
Right.
that's why when I saw this announcement, I was like, man,
Yeah.
like Nip didn't just walk in there.
Nah, we've been trying to land on the terms that we landed on for some years.
Yeah.
So it just was about me raising my leverage, my profile to where I could really justify what I was asking for.
Yeah.
And you know, I respect that. Like if I come here and make a request, you gotta, and they, you know, the answer is like you ain't worth that shit. You gotta go.
Yeah, gotta
work
go
for
get
that. It's possible, but you gotta work for
Sometimes you gotta show and tell people your worth too.
Yeah.
Did Atlantic back up? They passed on you earlier, right?
that. Yeah, I got a song called Keys to the City, and obviously it was a different staff over there at the time, and I had a different value, so it makes sense. But in Keys to the City, I got a line. I was just like, I said Dre Pass, Def Jam, Capital
Atlantic too. That I'll be doing life like that's true.
I was just talking about all the labels that I walked in them buildings and played music before I, you know, like I said, had value.
It's true.
And some of them felt it, some of them didn't get it, but I just was referencing taking those meetings and how that felt. And then when I made that record, being at a moment when the music I was making was really being received well and the profile of me as an artist was rising. So I just was reflecting on a moment when they didn't really see the value. You know?
Hey, let me ask you this: why now?
A lot of reasons. Like I said, my goal was to create a situation where I could walk into one of these majors and operate as a partner.
Right.
And even since my early stuff, I never really was just an artist. I always bought my equipment. From day one, I sold my Lincoln, sold my Rolex, sold my jewelry, left my dope spot, turned it into a studio, bought equipment. My brother matched me. My homeboy bought my Lincoln from me, brought me a trash bag full of cash, bought my rims, my Alpinas. I sold all the things I was functioning off of, took all my money, and my brother matched me. We went to Sam Ash and we bought all the equipment when I was 19, when I was 18 actually. So, you know, as I was educated in music, that's what the production company does. You know, that's what the label do. I was paying for rent. I was a hustler. I wasn't thinking I was the executive. I was just like, I want to rap. I need a studio. I need equipment. I got. We was making these moves already as a production company or as an executive or as a label to facilitate me as an artist. So the money was coming from my brother, from myself. The decisions was coming from my team, myself. Posters was being stapled up by us. The radio promo. We was going up there and buying the radio spots. We was booking out the House of Blues. We was doing all the things that a label do. So once I got educated to the way that the deals get structured, it would be disrespectful for us to expect anything other than a partnership. Because we been had sweat equity. We been had money invested.
Yes, sir.
We been operating as not only the creative, but also the administrative. So it would be against the grain of reality to go into a situation outside of that.
Because when I saw it, I was like, oh, man, You know what I'm saying? When they say, like, damn, they're keys to the city are all right up.
Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. We have a special guest from the West Coast.
Finally. Yeah, finally.
The homie Nipsey Hussle.
What up?
What's up, brother?
Everything good. How you feeling?
You got the Proud to Pay movement going on?
Yeah, man.
You just put out the Crenshaw album.
Yeah.
You my dog, but I just couldn't pay $100 for it.
I seen your tweets, man. I had to holler at my boy real quick.
I've been a fan.
But you can still get the. You don't have to do this.
I didn't know it's free.
It was my choice. Copy. Yeah, it was my choice for sure.
It's like a Kickstarter campaign. If you want to support somebody and donate money to the movement, that kind of thing. And you also get an experience with it.
Exactly. You get access to the concert. It's like a limited concert. You can't buy a ticket for it. You gotta have the product to get in. So it was by choice. If you want to download it, that's cool. It's available on that pit for free. So I'll just, clown it online.
Did you have the concert already?
Nah, we setting it up right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I downloaded not that pit.
That's cool.
Sorry.
That was the first time that though. You had Bullets. Bullets ain't got no name 3 for sale.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you remember that for sure.
I remember that because it was midnight and I was like, I'm going to get Nipsey's new joint. Then he was like, you got to pay for it.
It's so spoiled. But it is true because you put out the Crenshaw, the mixtape, and it is like an album. So sometimes it's difficult. You're putting out all this music with great guest features and producers and Knife Wonder and Rick Ross is on it and Slim Thug and everybody. And it's like, damn, I gotta give it away for free.
Hey, I mean, we get money off the other side of it, like touring. You already know that, merchandise and all that. So it was really just to get people talking. I want everybody to be like, why you charging $100 for the album?
Right.
What makes it, in his mind, worth $100? So that was what the idea was, but it sold out, so that was cool too.
That's right, and then Jay-Z went ahead and bought 100 copies.
Yeah, shout out to Jay for that.
So that means he gets to come in the concert free.
If he want to. He could have done that without bothering, you know what I'm saying? He got 100 tickets if he need to,
Have you hollered at him since he made that purchase?
Nah, I didn't get to holler at Jay. Rock Nation reached out and, you know what I'm saying? Not on no deal type of stuff, but just, just was like, handle the business, shot the loot over and all that.
They wired you the money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sent it right to your account?
Exactly.
And you shipped the CD?
Yeah, the next day for sure.
What made Jay-Z do that, though? Was he a fan of yours, or what?
I can't say, man. Honestly, I got a DM from B-Dot and Elliot Wilson that was just like, Ho said he saluted the thinking behind the $100 album and all that. So I was like, for sure, tell him good looking. And then Rock Nation reached out and was just like, one of his homeboys, Emery, was like, send some clothing. He wanted to buy some clothing.
Salute to Emery, that's our guy.
Yeah, for sure. So we shot him a box of that for free, too, because they spent 10 racks with us already.
So you had to give him something free?
Yeah, And,
I thought you said you had some Crenshaw stuff for
I did, but no matter of fact, I still do it. KC, what's going on? We got shirts left, right?
Throw it on Casey. Casey's like, no.
Nah, we did. It was so much stuff that got added, but I'll ship y'all whatever. I talked to Envy on the Twitter and all that.
I got a question. Where did you get the idea of charging $100 per CD?
You
needed a new chain.
Nah, not just that. Nah, you know, I got a few mentors that just put me on books and literature and all that. Big Bob Francis, one of them. And so, you know, he told me about this book called Contagious.
Contagious,
Yeah, so I got to the second chapter of that, and it was just talking about how this restaurant owner in Philly started selling Philly cheesesteaks for $100 out of his restaurant. And it just was like, it set off all type of conversation. Everybody was talking about it. Then all type of influential people came through him and just wanted to check out why it was $100. Like Oprah came through and bought one. David Letterman bought one. He got all type of exposure and publicity. And then it became like a staple. And everybody started coming through supporting buying a $100 cheesesteak. So I put the book down and I was like, yeah, we got to do that with the album. Nobody did that with music, you know?
That only works if it's worth $100.
Yeah, the music gotta live up to the price eventually when they get it, you know, and I think that I was confident in the music. It's not the album, you know, it was stuff that didn't make Victory Lap, which is my album, but I felt like we recorded all of that with the album in mind, so it wasn't like recorded as a mixtape, you know what I'm saying?
It's like art. It's like investing in a piece of art or something like that. I would assume.
Yeah, you know, it's the art don't really cost that much that they as they go for the oil paint or whatever the texture or the material is ain't worth no 20 million. It's the way it's interpreted. It's the way people, you know what I'm saying, the value they got for it in their mind.
Now you signed to Epic Records.
Yeah.
Now you're not on Epic anymore.
Nah.
Now are you gonna stay the independent route? Because we know that Ross was hollering at you one time. I'm sure Jay-Z didn't buy those CDs as for nothing. I mean, you know, I'm sure it's going to be a holler game at one point. That's right. Are you going to stay independent or sign to a major?
I got like a unique idea as far as my deal that I'm looking for. And so, you know, I'm not really going to go negotiate. I'm going to just present my terms. And if somebody feel like it's beneficial to what they're doing and it makes sense, we'll partner up, you know.
Now, what with Ross? Because I know he wanted to sign it.
Yeah, no, Rose was like, man, he can make whatever deal happen that we needed. I'm like, I don't want no money, I need a partnership, you know. And so he fought tooth and nail inside the building and tried to push it through, but just the structure of the companies was like, they not really up for giving artists ownership and equity. They more like, you stand next to Dooley High, you know what I mean, we'll cut a check, but you can't own nothing, you know what I'm saying? So I really wasn't in it for that.
And he said that you kept telling him you can't wear red around you.
No, I didn't say that.
Tried to holler at you and sign you as well, not just Rick Ross.
Yeah, we had a few combos. I wouldn't say a lot, but we got a couple, you know, artists that have executive positions also reached out. And it wasn't, we just talked about it because they wanted a free agent and we had something going on.
How do you feel about signing to another artist, though?
I mean, I think it worked for some people. I think me being in the game, having a major deal, being pushed to the extent I got pushed to already, being educated on the inside of the building, I don't think that that's the right I'm about. But it worked for others. I think we see success, like people that popped off doing that.
Snoop was trying to sign you early on too, wasn't he? Or was this more of a co-sign type thing?
It was more like whatever. He like, man, if you need me, holler. You know, we wasn't necessarily like petitioning the assignment. He was just like, nah, I know what this is. You know what I'm saying? It's familiar. I know what to do with it. Or like, just if you need advice, whatever. You know.
You move like Snoop, man. If Snoop was a gremlin and he got away, it seemed like he popped off.
That's the only man, you know, from the same culture, from the same elements. So, you know, it ain't. It's like a New York dude. You a hustler in New York, you kind of might have the same mannerisms or like, you know what I mean, movement as another hustler from New York.
Speaking of culture, what do you say to people who say you're a stereotypical West Coast rapper? Because I don't really understand that, because I think people see the new face of the West, the Kendricks and so on, and they look at you and they're like, oh, he's a stereotypical West Coast rapper. He wears Chucks, he does the lowrider thing, he gangbangs, but that's the culture.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't like, you might have to come to LA to like, it ain't necessarily what is stereotypical, like, you know, represent the reality of what's going on. I would take that, you know what I'm saying? But if you listen to what I say in my music, you know, really listen to it, you understand the, you know, individuality. But it's real. I come from Crenshaw and Slauson. I come from 60th Street. You know what I'm saying? I was raised where the movies was inspired by.
The Roman 60s.
Yeah, you know, it wasn't vice versa. We ain't watched the movie and like that's what we gonna do. They came to the hood and asked if they film at our liquor store. We used to ride our bikes to it. You know what I'm saying? Asked if they put cameras up on our buildings where we hustled at and when we fought in the back of the buildings at. So, you know, it wasn't like life imitating art. It was just like they covered it, it got exposure. But that's really what, you know, goes on and what it is.
What do you think about West Coast music now? Because I know one time the only way to basically get out on the West was Dre.
Exactly.
And now it seems like it's opened up a little bit.
Yeah, I think everybody worked hard for it. I think everybody put their work in. A lot of people stayed down. when it wasn't popular. Me being one of them, you know what I'm saying? I don't think that when I came in, the West was where it is now, but I was distinctly LA.
You just had a bad name, Nipsey, man. You was the man that was always late for video shoots. Not getting on the plane.
Yeah. No, I mean, I had a real situation I was coming out of, you know what I'm saying? Like, and again, like, you know, that ain't no excuse, but, you know, like I said, I wasn't doing it in a vacuum. I was doing it from the perspective. I was on the run when I got my deal. I just got out the county jail. You know what I'm saying? I had real issues in the streets. Not that any of that mattered, but you know, sometimes that's the gravity that you fighting against, you know what I'm saying?
When I was in LA, when I used to be in LA a few years ago, I used to be like, yo, why Nipsey Hussle ain't popular? And they was like, because he's too hood. He was too wrapped up in the hood.
I mean, not by choice, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I had gave up on rap music. I was cool on it, you know what I'm saying? Like, people came to me and was like, bro, do it. Like, John Shapiro was like, I got a situation for you. And I was like, he set up studio time. He chased me down, like, man, get in the studio, bro. Because I devoted myself to it at an early age. And, like I talk about, I was in the streets. I had money, I had spots, and I sold all my jewelry, sold my cars, and bought studio equipment and devoted myself to it. And I made a lot of music. Majority of the stuff that was on Bullets Ain't Got No Names 1 and 2, I made it before my deal. And we got hit, we got raided. They took all my equipment. My brother went to the pen, got a case. And I was just like, you know, I was devoting my energy to positivity. And I felt like, you know, to no avail. Still, we ran into the same roadblocks, and I could have been in, you know, in a better position financially. I could have kept grinding and just, I still had the same outcome. So it get kind of...
They sell crack.
I mean, crack, that's an old drug, you know. That's like from the 80s.
It's so old school.
Yeah, you know. Nah, but... I was like, I'm cool on it, you know. And so the music I done was still existed. It was still out there. It was still on MySpace. John Shapiro heard it. He came to LA, met with me at the Beverly Center, and was like, man, I could make this happen. And I was skeptical of the industry. I was skeptical of industry people. I was like, yeah, all right, cool. And he was serious, and I didn't recognize how serious he was until he put it to a deal on the table, and it was a check. And I was like, you know, all right, let's do it.
And I remember he brought you right to me, and I mean, we had you all through the clubs in New York.
No question, early on.
Now, also, how do you feel about Kendrick Lamar as far as, you know, the control verse and him being the king? How do you feel about that verse?
I heard the reaction, you know, from the culture, from the people. So whenever you move the people that much, you know what I'm saying, you gotta respect it. I know Kendrick, I'm a fan of him. I know he worked hard for his position. You know what I'm saying? I know he deserved everything he got. I know them dudes come from like a real place. J-Rock, Top Dog, Kendrick, he from Compton, and other dudes from the Nickersons. And so, like, you know, I sagged with them before. I've been on tour with him with Game in 07.
What does that mean?
Just like, you know, like grinded with him, like, you know what I mean? So,
sag, I think all y'all got your pants hanging down.
Nah, like, you know, sagging out, man. Right. Like, grinded, you know? And so, to see it take the, you know, blossom like it blossomed, you know, I salute that. I respect it.
How do you feel about him, his representation of the West Coast?
He represents himself, honestly. He's a dude from Compton. So, you know, again, you just got to be true to yourself, I think. You know, you can't try to adjust what you are to what people expect from you and none of that. I think that's when you know you're going to get slack and it's going to be fake. He himself, like, what you hear in the record, that's what you get when you meet him, when you talk to him. And before he popped, that's how he was, you know what I'm saying? So I respect it, that he took it to that height without watering down what his message was.
Right. Now, why does Complex Magazine hate you, man? They might have asked artist list.
Yeah,
that was disrespectful. I think.
Yeah, that list was disrespectful, but that's their platform, so they're entitled to their opinion. And I didn't like lash out. My team saw it, and my team was like, "You see this, that?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Okay.
Well, the way they try to describe it is that they feel like they supported you, and they, you know, really like you as an artist, and they felt like you should be further along, and that's why they said that.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing. I ain't asked for the support, by the way. You know, I ain't asking them to write about me or none of that. That was their choice, you know. Right. So, again, that's what they got the outlet for. But when I seen the article, it was like, I read it and I was like, oh, cool, that's how they feel. I never said nothing about it.
You felt like they were being sarcastic.
Yeah, just like, you know, again, I spoke to the points that offended me in the article, but I was really just like, you know, how much you get paid, the writer that wrote that? I pay them type of salary to my employees at my business that got felonies and that can't get jobs. No disrespect. So who's the underachiever? I own my company. I own the asset of this whole industry, which is your your masters, your intellectual property, you know what I'm saying, your publishing. So, you know, your metrics and what you gauging as an achievement is actually like a peon or an underboss way of looking at it, because, you know, like, I'm not in it for the fame. Everybody want to be seen and held at the highest regard, obviously, but, you know, you can't cash that out. You can't take that to the bank. Well, you can in other ways, but, you know, what's the asset? What do the labels do it for? They do it for the ownership. They do it for the catalog, for the mailbox money. And so, you know, I think if you up on what's going on, you would expect that. You wouldn't say a dude underachieving for that.
Yeah, for years I've seen Nipsey Hussle out and about at all kinds of conferences. I see you move around all the time. And I was wondering, do you think that labels were a little nervous about your street affiliations, and they're like, okay, we don't know, you know, what's going to happen with him. If we sign him, is he going to go back to jail? Was that ever a real concern, you think, when people were looking at you?
I think, like, the people that's so far removed from, like, humanity, because you gotta meet somebody before you come to any conclusion. And, you know, some people so successful that they just got layers and they got blocks to where they don't even deal with certain things, you know what I'm saying? So, and again, like, when we had issues, you know, on the street level, you had people in offices that was conscious of it and aware of it. And you know what happened with Suge, and you know what happened with Death Row. So I think people might have, you know, overreacted and felt like it was gonna be a similar situation. But again, you know, the game changed. Like, we in control to an extent. You know, we got the internet, we got a global village that we could deliver content to. You know what I'm saying? And it's worldwide. You could tour, you could sell your merch, and you could build businesses. So if you're not stuck on, you know, being a fame junkie and being some type of socialite, you could look at the game for what it is and eat. You know what I'm saying? And you know, build something that rides slowly.
You still move around with Big U?
Like, yeah, that's my homie. You know what I'm saying? You know, he don't manage me no more, but that's my homeboy. I got respect and love for him.
Absolutely.
Now, what about for your album that you're putting out? What is? I know you're going to put it out in a different kind of way. Also, I'm sure you have a plan.
Yeah, most definitely.
That is not going to be what other people have done in the past.
Yeah.
So, are you willing to share what the plan is with that, or is that something that's still in the works?
Nah, we got the plan. We're gonna do it traditionally through physical retail on iTunes, but then we're going to do a Proud to Pay campaign like we did with this one. And we're going to offer it for free also. We're going to offer the album for free, so if you want to download it free, you could. Because it's still going to be free regardless if I offer it or not. Somebody going to leak it, it's going to be available.
You can't stop that.
Nah, so I'm going to just keep it 100 with the people. It's going to be free if you don't want to pay for it. If you want to pay for it, we're going to have a Proud to Pay product that go along with it. And if you want to go to iTunes or Best Buy or Target, you could do that too, you know.
Have other artists approached you and said, I kind of want to do something like what you did, so do you mind if I go ahead and try to do a little Proud to Pay campaign as well?
Eminem doing that.
I was about to say, a few artists approached me, and then a couple didn't. Like, I think MGMT doing something, you know, the management, like the rock band, they doing something. Mm-hmm. And then Eminem selling his at different price points for like $300. For the deluxe, 50, 200, and so on.
They out there damn mind. I specifically put on Twitter, all right, I salute Nipsey, but if all you other artists try to do that, I'm not paying that much.
A lot of people
It's my dude. It's all good. But I support him, but I'm too cheap to do that.
Other artists were like, man, I wish I'd have done that first. I heard people say that.
Yeah, me too.
Who would you pay $100 for?
I did actually recently. We did something on MTV, and I went to the store. They gave me that credit card and was like, buy what you would like to buy, spend $100 on whatever you like to buy, music-wise. So I bought Dom Kennedy album, Get Home Safely. That's my homie.
That's your dog, yeah.
I'll run this shit. Yes, fucking sir.
She keep on drunk off you. Niggas ain't drunk off you. So niggas drunk off you. Trying to free, get free, get it off you. Wanna get it off you. You gotta get it off you. Dollar shirt on the face. I'm afraid of the better things. They told us to kill all these niggas. Never gonna lose if we have this business. Turn them from to the braces. Got my heart in the carbon and trenches. Every day that I'm on suspensions. It came with a lot of conditions. My boys, they got in your system. Boy, you done shot to the feelings. At first, it's the hurt with his feelings. Fuck my nigga, let's get it. My donuts are something ridiculous. Fuck a trick with all of my friends. I gotta be used for selfies. Something else, yeah.
You with an X on the floor. We never front line of war. You never had on a tour. You got a run the story. You ain't did it. You ain't did it.
I never see an X before. You ain't got a line around the store. Never put an X on the floor. You never front line of war. You ain't did it. You ain't did it. Yeah, this shit is not fiction. It's really my life.
Oh yeah, I'm off stream, guys. See y'all next time.